the person inside of you that is like working against you. That's that little voice, you know? Hello, my darlings, and welcome to today's video. Today, we are going to be listening to NF. This is a song called Fear, and it's a doozy. It's a doozy. There's a lot to go through, although I do try and save some of the talking about the lyrics to the end, but I do a little bit in the middle. But you're going to see my reaction to this. So, buckle up, Buttercup, and let's dive in.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello. Knocking at my door again, begging me to come outside, let you back into my life. Now, usually I'd be strong enough to lock the doors and keep them shut, but not today, I'm desperate. So go ahead and come on in. So go ahead and come on in. So go ahead and come on in.
Okay.
OCD is worse than ever, hands are bleeding, maybe I should take the pills down. Know what's going on with me, some days I actually think I might be schizo. Frantic, probably not, but even writing this is making me begin to spiral, oh God. Made a promise to myself I wouldn't let the fear back in, but then I did though. Told the world that I was sick of running, then went back to running, what a joke. Disappointing, yeah, me too, I thought I finally made a breakthrough, guess not. It's the same song and dance, you've all seen it before. Darkness holds out its hand, then we walk to the floor. Every decision made isn't mine anymore. Like a puppet with strings, I just don't have a choice. What's the truth, what's a lie? Help me God, help me Lord. Face your fears, dry your eyes, grandma died. What's the point? Lost the keys, lost my hope, lost my will, lost my joy, lost a friend, lost my hope, lost my faith, lost my voice.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna pause here. It's interesting the way that he starts with the lyric, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," because I think we all are very familiar with that phrase. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to dance with you again. You know? So looking at that first portion, I haven't listened, obviously, I haven't listened to all of NF and the stuff that he has made. But from what I can recall, this, and maybe it's a theme for this album, because this album did come out in 2025, so very recently. But he's, at least in this one, he is doing more clean vocals, which is really interesting to see. Because I think we can all agree that, you know, he can rap. And his rap also has a very clean, you know, tone to it. Or not tone, but his rapping is really clean. And okay. I feel like there's a better way to explain that, but it's what we hear in the beginning with those clean vocals. That same tone that he has with that is translated into the rapping, but obviously it's not doing the full clean vocals. Because, I mean, in the beginning, I would have to go back and look, but like the end portions would kind of be that clean vocal part, where he'd kind of lead into it with just kind of like a mode 1, you know, sound, and then he would drag that note, you know, and make it into a clean vocal. But it sounds lovely. looking at another thing that I want to say is that I remember, I can't remember exactly what the name of the song was, but it was that song where he went into, at the very, kind of closer to the end, it was like 30 years of hope, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of pain, 30 years of da 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 da, but it was that repetitive 30 years of this, 30 years of that, 30 years of this. I quite like that one. But in that one, it also had that voice that would talk to him. And we get at least, like, it might progress later in the song, but at least in the beginning, we get a little bit of that. So it says, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and you hear that little whisper, the hello. And then it comes back again when it says, "But not today, I'm desperate." And he's like, "Desperate." And he kind of whispers into it. So it's kind of like, it's like that demon, that the person inside of you that is like working against you. That's that little voice, Looking at the lyrics, I mean, the fact that he made a promise, told myself I wouldn't let the fear back in, but then I did, though. Told the world that I was sick of running, then went back to running, what a joke. That's like that negative, self-deprecating kind of talk, because it's like, you can't always be on that upward slope. Like, that's not how that works. But at the same time, we get it, because everyone is kind of like that. You make progress and you're like, yes, things are going good, I'm feeling good. And then something happens, or maybe nothing necessarily happens, but all of a sudden you find that, like, you give in to the anxiety, or you let fear kind of guide you, because this one, I mean, the theme of this song is fear. And then you have those thoughts of like, I'm over here, preaching, going to therapy and talking about my problems, or fighting against my anxiety, fighting against my fear, trying to do the things I want to do, etc., whatever it is that's going on inside. And then you get to that point where, you kind of backslide a little bit, and you're like, then I went back to running, what a joke. And it's like, no. I think there was a thing online, and I really liked kind of how it explained progress, and it's like, it's not this, it's kind of like, it's a spiral. I think it was a spiral or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was a spiral. So it's like, or no, maybe it wasn't a spiral. There was some sort of like shape that it was, and it kind of was like, you're not backsliding. You're, it's kind of like 2 steps up, 1 step back, 3 steps up, 2 steps back. Like, it's slow. It's slow progress, but it's progress, Anyways, let's continue and see where he takes us. That action of washing your hands clean, trying to get rid of.
Standing back, watching my mansion burn to ash while I
just want to go back a second. When he says my mansion, it takes me back to, I think the mansion was the last album. Oh no, the last mansion was 2015, so that would be like 10 years from this. I don't know. I feel like he probably had something in between that. I think it's, The Search is 2019. And then The Search is still, 2019. But it goes back. And there's a song in that album, that's the song. Sorry. Mansion is the album name, but it's also a song on the album. And I believe I did a reaction to that one, and it was really good, but it's kind of talking about his mansion being, it's kind of like, it even says in the lyrics, my mind is a house with walls covered in pain. So he's making the connection, or not the connection, but the metaphor that his mansion is his mind, and he's explaining certain emotions through that, you know. So he brings it up here, and he's looking back on that.
Standing back, watching my mansion burn to ash while I hold the gas can, asking God if he started this fire. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Make all my hopes and my dreams come to life just to lay them to rest. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Give me a false sense of peace just to show me what peace really is. Is this what you wanted? On the verge, on the edge. Is this what you wanted? Petrified, scared to death. Is this what you wanted? Praying to God, desperate. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Hanging on by a thread. Is this what you wanted? Empty heart, nothing left. Is this what you wanted? Breaking down, spiraling. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? My head is this what you wanted? To ash. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted? Is this what you wanted? The gas. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Started. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted?
Jeez. Okay. Oh, okay. So going back to, you know, the mansion and how that is, you know, a metaphor for his mind, and looking at the lyrics itself. He says, standing back watching my mansion burn to ash while I hold the gas can. So basically saying, you know, it was me who did it, you know, and it's, I feel like but then he also says, asking God if he started this fire. Is this what you wanted? Make all my hopes and dreams come to life just to lay them to rest. Is this what you wanted? Give me a false sense of peace just to show me what peace really is. Is this what you wanted? So talking about, you know, reaching that place of peace and hope and calm, and then being thrust back into, you know, the chaos of either like something happening in their life or just their mind, you know, like it's, when it comes to, and I use the parallel because I can relate to it with anxiety, is that it's not it's not something that will ever go away. And it's not something that will be completely overcome. Like it will be with you for the rest of your life. It just changes shape. And so, you know, I've been dealing with it since my teenagehood, and there's certain things that I used to really struggle with that I don't so much anymore, but there's other things, you know, or I, you know, learn how to recognize something, or I learn to understand why I react a certain way or feel a certain way. And I try to understand it better, so when, you know, stuff comes up, I can kind of make sense of it and deal with it and process it and all that stuff. But I think that's one thing I just want to say is it's not a linear line of progress. And so when he says, watching my mansion burn to ash while I hold the gas can, it just feels very, like this is my fault. And I mean, depending on what happened, but because the mansion is his mind, it's like, unless he like did something physically to kind of self-sabotage yourself, then yeah, maybe you did hold the gas can. But I also take it from a perspective of we are human, we are imperfect, and you know, we you know, we fall back into those old patterns, or we fall back into that way of thinking or way of being, and it's not the end all be all. It's kind of like you just have to recognize when you do that and move forward from there, you know, and be like, oh, I fell back into old patterns. But then he says, ask God if he started this fire. And I think that's another thing of like when things happen, we also are just like, why? Why me? Why now? Why? Like, why? And that's one thing that some people will go to depending on if you are religious or not, but like, why? You know, asking God, why did this happen? And then at the end, when the guy takes the key out of his pocket, the key is like the key to his mansion. So it implies that, you know, he's fully letting fear, like he's battled with fear in this video and fear ended up winning. And it's like, that happens. And it's, again, not the, you can come back from that, you know, and it's kind of like what we were talking about before. It's not a linear line. Sometimes fear gets in and it's just like, well, shit, I didn't want that to happen, but it happens, you know? And it's kind of taking that and being like, okay, maybe what usually when something like that happens, there's signs, and it's like, okay, well, what were the signs this time? And you live and you learn. But I think this song is so, I think it's lovely. We get a little bit more of like we have that acoustic guitar in it, which is pretty cool. We get some clean vocals from NF or Nate, and it's really lovely, and I think it's really, really relatable. I mean, a lot of his music is very relatable because it's written from, he writes from his own experiences, whether it's, you know, something in the physical world or something more mental, you know. But this was really good, so thank you guys so much for recommending this. I hope that you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you cutie patooties in the next one. Bye, y'all.